Good day, this is Urban, and welcome to another discussion on applied economics. In our previous video, we discussed what economics is. We also tackled the different economic system, the difference between micro and macroeconomics, and the importance of studying it. For today, we will discuss a simple lesson entitled The Basic Economic Problems in the Philippines. So let's start with unemployment. Unemployment is still a main problem of the Philippine economy, despite improvements reported by the National Statistics Office. The unemployment rate in the country decreased to 6.4% in the second quarter of 2015 from 7.0% in 2014. In the recent data, the Philippines unemployment rate dropped to 10% in July 2020 from previously reported number of 17.60% last April, higher than 5.1% in April 2019. These are the effects of COVID-19 pandemic. Many lost jobs, closed businesses and establishments, so it is not surprising that the number of unemployed in the country has increased. Next on the list is the booming population growth in the Philippines. It is another basic economic problem that can be related to the issue of scarcity. According to the 2010 census, the Philippine population stood at 92.3 million. As of 2014, it reached more than 100 million and one of the highest in Asia. The current population of the Philippines is 110 million, based on the latest United Nations data. Another significant socio-economic problem in the country is poverty. As reported by the National Statistics Coordination Board in 2016, poverty incidence registered at 26.4% in 2009, 25.2% in 2012, and 28.8% in the first semester of 2014. Despite the declining poverty rate in recent years, 21.6% of the country's population still live below the national poverty line. Rural areas in the Philippines show poverty rate of 36% compared to 13% in urban areas. Meaning to say, even though metro cities are crowded and overpopulated, the number of those experiencing poverty in the provinces or rural areas is still higher. Perhaps one of the possible reasons is the lack of proper infrastructures in the provinces, such as bridges and roads. As a result, products and services that will make their lives easier will not reach them immediately. Let us now take a look at the possible causes of these economic problems and what are their effects on our lives and economy. First is unemployment. Number one, structural unemployment. One possible reason for the high number of unemployed in the country is that job vacancies are not aligned with the courses completed. We are an agricultural country. However, it is rare for a student to take program related to farming. We often see it as a decent job to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, teacher, and so on. And that's good. But on the other hand, only few graduates with vocational and technical courses, even though those courses are in demand in today's generation. Number two, oversupply graduates. Every year, a bunch of students graduate and add to the growing number of job seekers in the country. It is a good thing because it shows the importance of education for the majority. However, we can also see that with the ever increasing number of graduates in the country, the number of opportunities doesn't keep pace. Many graduates do not immediately find work, and if so, underemployed or mismatched for the job obtained for the completed course. Number three, economic recession. Another possible cause of the high number of unemployed in the country is economic recession. Although the country's economy has been doing well in recent years, we cannot deny that the COVID-19 pandemic had an intense impact on our country. Many businesses and establishments have closed. The country's tourism industry weakened, Our OFWs have returned from various countries, and this pandemic has caused many other effects on our economy. And as a result, our economy has weakened, resulting in many job losses. Fourth one, overpopulation. One of the reasons why many are unemployed in the country is the growing population, which according to the latest data, the Philippines had reached 110 million. Now, let's proceed to the possible effects of the high unemployment rate in the country. Number one, increased poverty. Due to unemployment, these people are adding to the high number of people experiencing poverty. What is social unrest? One of the effects of unemployment is social unrest. Social unrest had characterized by the general dissatisfaction of a group and the unconventional and sometimes violent ways people tend to show it. One example is rioting, and when a large group of people behaves in a violent and uncontrolled way. Number three, lost self-esteem. People who belong to the unemployed tend to lose confidence in themselves. And last but not the least, social inequality. A high number of unemployed in the country results in a larger gap between the poor and the rich. The gap between the poor and the rich is more reflected with this kind of problem. Let's proceed to poverty. Number one, low economic growth. One of the possible causes of poverty in the country is its slow economic development. If economic growth is slow, ordinary people will not experience it. Weak agricultural sector. We are an agricultural country, but we do not value it. Instead, farmers are ignored and do not receive adequate support from the government. Population growth. Why we have a population experiencing poverty? It is because of the rapid increase in the population itself. Last, high level of inequality. Because of these economic problems, such as high unemployment and poverty rate, the gap between the poor and the rich, poor remain poor while the rich continues to rich. For the effects of poverty, number one, inability to afford housing. As a result of poverty, some are unable to have a home of their own. Some of us live under the bridges, on the sidewalk, or in the places that are not conducive for living. Number two, malnutrition. Based on the latest GHI data for 2020, the Philippines is under a moderate level of hunger. It means children under the age of 5 and below experiencing malnutrition, stunting, and even death due to severe malnutrition. And last, high crime rate. As the population continues to swell, so does the number of crimes in the country as well. Being desperate to eat or having daily necessities are possible reasons why they do this. The cause and effect of overpopulation. Poverty, lack of educational resources, child labor. Possible reasons for population growth are poverty, lack of adequate education, and forced labor among the youth. Due to poverty, some of our countrymen did not have a proper education, and others get married early. One of the reasons for the rapid increase in population is the idea of getting more children means more family members can be able to work. Some people think that having children is an opportunity because they can also work for their family, and as a result, many young children work at an early age to provide for them. Number four, reduce mortality rate. A quality health system will bring low mortality in a country. But the number of people dying doesn't coincide with the number of babies born every day, and as a result, it will consequence in the swelling of the population. Last, the effect of overpopulation. Poverty, resource consumption, elevated crime rate, and increase in climate change. As mentioned in the first part, economic problems such as overpopulation will also cause poverty and increase the number of crimes in a country. Also, rapid population growth will result in a shortage of resources such as food and water. We have already discussed scarcity and how we are responding to it. Finally, rapid population growth contributes to the worsening of climate change, not only in the Philippines but also in the whole world. All in all, the country faces many problems. For example, poverty, population growth, and high unemployment are some of them. There are various reasons why we have these problems. And of course, it will have a variety of effects on us and our economy. That's all for today. See you again next week for another lesson on applied economics. Again, I'm Sir Van. Thank you very much.